Campus today with Mike Rothberg, a CU engineering alum. Mike got his undergrad and master's degrees here, and he studied civil and environmental engineering. Mike is currently the Executive Vice President of Engineering and Consulting Services at Tetra Tech. Mike, thanks so much for being with us today.
My pleasure.
We want to hear a little bit more about your story of becoming an engineer. How did you become an engineer?
Well, I got there in a bit of an indirect fashion. I started undergraduate here at the University of Colorado. Liked the chemistry and mathematics field. I ended up with a degree in chemistry, mathematics, and biological science. I think as a child I had quite a bit of interest in engineering and science. Looking back on it, I was always interested in how things worked, and so it seemed somewhat natural to me.
And after receiving your master's degree in engineering, what was your first job?
Well, when I left CU, I went to work for Denver Water.
And now you're an Executive Vice President of Engineering and Consulting Services at Tetra Tech. Can you tell us a little bit about what Tetra Tech is and your role there?
Well, Tetra Tech's a large international consulting and science engineering firm. And it's about 14,000 employees, offices in 330 locations, including mostly North America, but around the world. And I sort of have a dual role there. I manage a fairly large group within Tetra Tech, and then I'm also continue my practice in water wastewater engineering. I'm a process engineer and do actual engineering project work still.
And I understand before you began working at Tetra Tech, you actually had your own firm.
After Denver Water, I went to work for another very specialized water wastewater firm, and ended up leaving that firm to start my own engineering practice. From an entrepreneurial start, we grew to a 65 or 70 person firm, and were acquired by Tetra Tech.
We have some students in this class who will be interested in being entrepreneurial like you have, Mike. What advice do you have for them if they're interested in starting their own company or their own firm someday?
Just based on my experiences, I could give a fair amount of advice, but I think the key things are that number one, you really have to want to do it. You have to search deep down inside and determine whether you've got, I think it's a blend of ego and guts to basically have everything you own on the line all the time. And if that's in there, then it's a matter of getting some good, solid experience and jumping forward.
You probably hire many engineers in your current role to work with you on your projects. What sort of advice do you have for students who might apply for a job?
I think the key thing in the consulting business is that it's a business. You have to understand the nature of the business and that you're selling a service. We are looking for people who are good self-starters, who have a good basis and background for their educational expertise. So look for lots of traits and characteristics, but mostly a drive and energy and a desire to get in there, work, and learn how to do things quickly.
Do you find that someone who majored in a particular kind of engineering could learn a different type of engineering on the job?
Having experienced that engineers are pretty adaptable, we've learned how to learn, and we can learn lots of things on the job.
We want to hear a little bit more about what you do in your current job. What kind of problems do you and some of your teammates, I assume, solve?
My specialty, or the work that I'm mostly involved with, is water and wastewater related projects. So my client base is either municipal or governmental entities that have a need to treat water for drinking purposes or have a need to treat wastewater for discharge. So you're solving issues, you're trying to deal with residuals, you've got all kinds of things that you've got to think through, figure out, and do efficiently and economically.
Sounds like on the projects you work on, you must have many collaborators. What sorts of people do you work with when you're solving these problems?
We've got civil engineers, we've got electrical and control engineers, we've got hydraulics engineers, like me, water process engineers. And then during the construction phase, we've got people who are knowledgeable on site, understand how to make sure the project's going together correctly and with the right level of quality and adherence to the plans and specifications.
Mike, what people do you help?
Because of what we do, I'd say we help everyone because we help make clean water and help deal with wastewater treatment.
What about your current job didn't exist when you were a student here?
I think one of the key things that I've seen evolve that's really helped what we do in terms of designing facilities is what's happened in the computer-aided drafting and 3D modeling side of things.
Mike, how do you use math in your job?
We often have evolved techniques and approaches to simplify things a bit and use spreadsheets, things like that, that allow us to get the answer. So the math, I think, is critical to understand what it is we do and how we do it and why we do it. But nowadays, with the use of calculators, computers, et cetera, we make it quicker to get there sometimes.
What's the coolest thing you get to do in your job?
I love facilities. I love to see how things work. So I've been given the opportunity to go to some very unique places, do and see some very unique things, and work on some really complex and involved facilities. My job has taken me to some very unique and interesting places.
What are some of the unique places you've been able to go? Have you been to other countries? Do you work on these kinds of projects in other continents?
I've worked in Africa. I've spent time in the Virgin Islands. I've been a number of places around the world working on projects or aspects of projects.
We want to hear a little bit more about your thoughts on engineering and being a professional. Can you tell us about a time in your career when maybe you weren't successful or maybe failed at something?
You know, I've had issues when I first started. Tests, things where you thought you did better or had hoped you've done better, and get a little shock to the system when you see the resulting grade. I've had projects that didn't work as planned. I've had business engineering-related business issues that didn't go as planned. And it's true, you learn from every single one of those events.
What was your favorite experience as a student here at CU?
I really enjoyed some of the lab work that we did. I still have friends that I made here at CU. It was a great experience, not only from the educational side of things, but the personal side of things.
What do you wish someone would have told you when you were in college?
I wish I would have had some advice to take some business classes, more business classes, maybe to learn a little bit about the business side of the engineering profession.
So engineering is increasingly a global profession. Can you give us some specific examples about what it's like to do engineering in another country or on another continent?
You're right. Engineering is becoming a very global activity. In fact, in our company, as we look at projects, we're oftentimes looking at projects, more projects in other countries even than some of our local opportunities. For us, and we do a fair amount of industrial work, so we see a lot of industrial projects in other locations, and we also do a fair amount of municipal type work.
Sounds like you work on very interdisciplinary projects that require lots of different expertise. If you were a new engineering grad who got hired by your company, what might a typical day look like for you?
Well, we first would try to find activities within your educational background. So if you were a civil environmental engineer, we'd involve you in our water team. Although we oftentimes will stretch people a little bit and get them involved in some other things than maybe what their education background was.
Part of this class is helping answer the question for students, what is engineering? How do you answer that question? What is engineering to you?
Well, I think I think if you ask most engineers that question, you'll get an answer somewhere in the range of it's problem solving. It's applying science and essentially an understanding of, because of the math that you've learned, an understanding of why things are what they are, applying that information to solve problems. I think advice that I give to people who ask me what engineering is and how to go about it, I think it's it requires somebody who's got an interest in how things work, who's got an interest in the underlying science, and then who can innovate and come up with solutions to problems that are being identified and discussed. And I think that a good engineer is adaptive, innovative, and willing to think outside the box oftentimes.
What do you do for fun?
I still ski. We ski quite a bit in the wintertime. I just like to hang around with family and do things with the group.
Mike, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.